The running back room for the New York Jets is insanely crowded. What can we do, and how are we going to keep to make sure that we keep the most talented guys on the roster? What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Talking Jets with Tigo. My name is Tigo, and today we're going to be talking about the running back room, and more importantly, the running back room depth. I think that this is a key thing that we need to talk about because obviously we all know, we all got excited about it. The New York Jets went and signed a running back. We brought in Dalvin Cook to be running back 2 for this team and to really use his skill set early on in the year, which is where he tends to shine, to help us conserve and save Breece Hall's legs so that later on in the year, in February and hopefully in January and February, Breece Hall is more healthy and we can have his elite traits take over and help us win football games. With all of that being said, the conversation now comes down to we've got only a few more running back spots, and we've got 4 legitimately good running backs on the roster that aren't named Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook. Almost said Garrett Wilson there for a second. Now, if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know that my 53-man roster predictions have always only carried 3 running backs, and that was because I was carrying 3 tight ends with the fullback and 6 wide receivers. And now with the addition of Dalvin Cook, I don't know if that game plan can stick around. And with how much love we see for the tight ends and the running backs in a Nathaniel Hackett system, 6 wide receivers just doesn't make sense for the New York Jets in the long term. I think the New York Jets are probably only going to carry 5 wide receivers, which absolutely sucks because the competition between Malik Taylor, Xavier Gibson, Jason Brownlee has been awesome to watch. I love those guys and what they can do, and hopefully they can clear waivers so that we can stash them. But the reality is the New York Jets are probably going to go into week 1 with Garrett Wilson, Allen Lazard, Corey Davis, McCole Hardman, and Randall Cobb as the 5 wide receivers, which gives the New York Jets the opportunity to have 4 running backs. Now, if we're going to keep 4 running backs, who are those 4 running backs? The sad reality is that someone is going to get cut. And while I love Travis Dye, Bam Knight, Israel Abanikanda, and Michael Carter, we don't have room for everybody. So let's break this down on who everybody the New York Jets are going to carry. We all know Breece Hall is running back 1, should be second-round pick. He's a top 5 running back in the NFL. In my opinion, that makes sense. Dalvin Cook, top 10 running back in the NFL, just got paid a ton of money to come to the New York Jets. He's not going anywhere. Israel Abanikanda, rookie that we just took in the 4th or the 5th round, he's not going anywhere. He's a roster lock. We got 1 more spot, and it's up for grabs between Michael Carter, Bam Knight, and Travis Dye. We know Travis Dye's probably not going to make the roster as an undrafted free agent. I really like this kid, but he's a guy that you can stash on the practice squad and be more than happy as the call-up as running back 4 if someone gets injured. Now the competition comes down between Bam Knight and Michael Carter, and if I were the one making the decision, and if I were in Robert Saleh's shoes or Joe Douglas's shoes and I'm making this decision, Bam Knight is getting cut and Michael Carter is making the roster. And the decision isn't all that hard. Michael Carter, like the other 3 running backs that are on the roster, provide a skill set that is absolutely elite. One skill that he provides at an elite level. Everybody in the running back room does something different at an elite level. Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook are just elite running backs. Different levels of elite running backs, but they're just elite running backs. Michael Carter provides elite elusiveness in making that first guy miss and all of those things and getting extra yardage after contact. We know how hard it is to tackle Michael Carter. And Israel Abanikanda has game-breaking speed, legitimate game-breaking speed. What does Bam Knight do that's all that special? The unfortunate reality is that the legend of Bam Knight has overtaken how good Bam Knight actually is as a football player. And while I love the kid and what he brought to this team and how hard he fought to play for this team, the reality is that you can just find a running back off of the streets that runs a 4.6, is willing to go between the tackles, and falls forward. That's not really all that special of a skill set. Hell, we saw Travis Dye do those things in the not the Hall of Fame game, but in the preseason game against the Carolina Panthers. And the other sad truth is Bam Knight can probably clear waivers. I was talking about it before about Bam Knight might not clear waivers. A team like Tampa Bay or the Carolina Panthers might claim him. But after watching what Bam Knight has put on tape and all of the things around the league in terms of specifically the Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and their running back rooms, each one of those teams had two guys that kind of looked like Bam and had a similar skill set to Bam. So the reality is, Bam Knight probably isn't going to be making this roster, and that sucks. I hate the fact that we only get to keep 53 guys. I would love for the New York Jets to really be able to keep 60 guys. It would be great to be able to keep Jason Brownlee, Malik Taylor, Xavier Gibson, Bam Knight, Travis Dye, you know, and then going into the defensive back room. How cool would it be to be able to keep, you know, PETA on the team and Nick Vigil and, you know, screw it, Jimmy Moreland and Craig James. And you know what? They love Ashton Davis. Who cares? We can also keep Trey Dean and keep all of our players, but that's not a reality of the NFL. And we're going to have a lot of really hard roster decisions. And I think this is one that's writing is on the wall. I hope that Bam Knight can go out there and win a job and beat somebody out, but the likelihood of that happening, I think, is really low. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about the running back room. How many are we keeping? Who are we keeping? And why? And last but not least, go Jets.